You weren't made to settle for mediocrity. If you decide to close out of this video now, I hope you'll at least take that away from this video, because when you adapt that mindset, everything else in your life changes. When I accepted this, I left my 9-to-5 corporate job to pursue my dream lifestyle, and now in this video, I will explain exactly how you can do the same. So, my name is James Eardley, and I decided not to settle for mediocrity. I decided to move away from the traditional 9-to-5 path in order to create my own lifestyle that I wanted to live, my dream lifestyle. And I'm going to show you how I was able to do that, crucially talk about my journey and why I decided to leave my 9-to-5 job to pursue a different lifestyle, and I'll talk to you about what I would do differently and some things that I did right, but also some things that I did wrong as well. So, firstly, my journey. This is my story so far. So at 18 years old, I left college and I felt lost. I didn't know what it was that I wanted to do in my life. But I started work initially on a building site, and then I entered a 9-to-5 world when I went to work for a housing association. But very quickly, I realised that this wasn't where I wanted to be long term. And so I felt the need very quickly to get out of this stuck feeling that when I was in a 9-to-5 job, because I saw no future. So what happened was I went travelling briefly, but that was cut short by a global pandemic. And so after coming back from that, I always dreamed of having more travel post-pandemic with an online income, so I could have more freedom and control over how long I was travelling for. And so that drove me to launch an e-commerce business alongside my job, faced lots of challenges, almost quit many times, but continued to run those businesses until I was able to launch finally a successful business that I scaled to £250,000 in sales in the first 12 months, and that allowed me to quit my 9-to-5 job. Then I started coaching on e-commerce, and now I focus on teaching consistency and focus to people who want to change their life. So when I put it into a timeline, my decisions and my life looked something like this. I was completely lost, left college, didn't know what to do with myself, got myself into the usual path, whether that's on a building site or at a housing association, like a corporate 9-to-5 role, and then I was quickly struck by these feelings of being stuck and not reaching my potential and feeling unfulfilled and feeling like I couldn't see how I was going to go and live the life that I wanted to live. But I knew that I didn't want to settle for mediocrity. And I kept learning this, and I kept reading about these things, and I kept listening to podcasts, and I had the biggest ambitions, but I didn't know where to direct that energy. And so eventually I stumbled across the e-commerce business model, and I started an online business, and that was where things really took off for me. But what was really key in my whole journey was that I was always surrounded by good people. Once I got into this business, I followed a proven path to success, and I joined a community. And that was a big thing that I'll talk about as I go through the reason why I felt confident to leave my 9-to-5, was that I joined a community. And eventually, after hard work and some things that I'll talk about in this video, I got myself to location freedom, and I left my 9-to-5 job. And so I wanted to bring this up from the very start, because community is going to play a big role in why I was able to leave my 9-to-5 job, because ultimately we are social beings and we want to fit in. And when we leave a 9-to-5 job, what we're doing is ostracizing ourselves and pushing ourselves out of the norm inside of the peer groups that we have, because of course by going to a 9-to-5 job we're surrounded by people that are also working at a 9-to-5 job, and so it's very easy to think that that is completely normal, that's what everyone is doing. But only when you get into different surroundings can you understand that there are different ways of living. And so I'm so passionate about communities now that I have my own. And inside my own Relentless Co. free community that's free to join if you want to, we are surrounded by people who are ambitious, who do want the best for each other, and who share tips and who share stories and who work together to go ahead and quit 9-to-5 jobs or build location freedom or financial freedom or whatever our individual goals are. So that's why I built it, because I know it's such a big part of my journey. So that's my journey. I'm going to go through it in a bit more detail now and give you some tips and tricks about how to leave your 9-to-5 if that's what you want to do, and talk to you about why I did it. But first of all, let me just quickly update you on my current status. I'm currently travelling Southeast Asia. I'm running multiple businesses, and I'm coaching new entrepreneurs how to leave their 9-to-5 job as well by cultivating better focus and consistency. So on the map right now, I'm somewhere in here. I'm in central Thailand right now, in a city called Da Nang on the beach, and it's been a stunning time while I've been out here. And that's only been possible because I left my 9-to-5 job. So let's talk about what that looked like and why I did it. So when I was in my 9-to-5 job, and you might be able to resonate with this if you're in a job as well, I realised that I had to make a choice when I was in that job. I was looking ahead at the people that were 10, 20, 30 years ahead of me on the exact same career path, and I was looking at what they were doing and how happy they were with their lives, and I kind of made a decision that that wasn't the position I wanted to be in. Fair enough if that's what those people wanted to do, but I knew that for me, if I looked ahead at the career path of people ahead of me, what it gave them was certainty. Yes, they knew exactly that there was going to be a paycheck coming in every single month. That was the benefit. But the disadvantage is, for me, it felt like I wasn't going to be really achieving anything that was real significant. In my own life, I had big goals for myself, and it felt to me like mediocrity. It felt to me like it was not reaching my potential, and it felt to me like I was never going to have the control that I wanted to have over my life. And so I had a choice. I could carry on. I could stay on the same track that I was on already, moving towards these things. But that made me feel like this would be the face I would have in life. Not really emotionless, not really passionate about it, and I didn't want that for my life. So what I had to do was the difficult, more lonely path, which was to follow the life of uncertainty. But what that uncertainty gave me was a chance for a more free lifestyle. And I wanted to have more control over my life. I wanted to be able to push myself to my potential. I wanted to see what was possible for me to achieve, because I understand that we just have one chance at life, and I wanted to make the most of that opportunity that we have. So what I did initially was I started running a business alongside my job, because I knew if I was going to quit my job, I had to get money from somewhere, and I wanted to get it from a source that would allow me to have location, time, financial freedom. And so I knew that starting alongside my job was going to be a good idea, because it would mean that I could continue having my consistent income. It would give me that stability, and when I've got the stability of income coming in still while I'm building a business, I can then make better long-term decisions when building a business. Because I don't need the money immediately, I could choose to make decisions about growing my business that were good for the long-term health of my business, rather than chasing money quickly. And this will make sense when you start to try and run a business, is that you'll have decisions to make. You can either annoy customers and you can make money quickly and you can ruin relationships, or you can build long-term sustainable brands that will bring in money over time, but it might take longer, it'll take harder work, and it might take more delayed gratification before you receive that money. But that was good because I had income coming in, and I knew that I was going to have to put work in, and for me it was 6 months worth of work alongside my job until I had consistent profits with my business that would match or even beat my 9-to-5 job. So what it took to get to that stage was two things mainly. Firstly, it was mindset work. I had to get myself into a position where I had the mindset to succeed. And secondly, then it was the tactical work. So I think what a lot of people get wrong is they're too quick to try and understand all of the tactical work that they need to do in order to build a successful business. So this, for me, inside the dropshipping world that I got familiar with when I built my first business, was that people are very quick to start searching for how to find suppliers, or how to build a Shopify store, and how to build profitable marketing campaigns. But before you can get to any of this, you have to do the mindset work first. Because if you're going into these tactical things with the wrong mindset, you're never going to approach it successfully. You have to get your mindset done first. So what I had to understand first was that I had to be willing to invest in myself, both with money and with time, to really give myself the best chance to succeed quickly. I had to get very clear on my goals. That was crucial, to know what it was I wanted to achieve. And then I had to surround myself by ambition and success. And I've already mentioned it in the video, but when you surround yourself by ambition and success, like we do here in my free community Relentless Co, you're giving yourself an environment that wants you to succeed. And that was huge. And it gave me the right mindset for me to approach my business with. And then once I had the right mindset in place, it made tactical work a lot easier. Because then when I was choosing which business model to go into, I knew what my goals were. So I knew what business was going to give me the goals that I wanted to achieve. I had to then choose which products to sell. I had to build a Shopify store. I had to build a marketing campaign. I had a lot of things to do to build a business. But because I was clear on what it was I wanted to achieve, and I had a strong reason why I wanted to achieve it, when things were tough, I could push forward and achieve those results. So that's what it took. Now, eventually, it got to a point where I met my goal. I made 3 months of consistent profit that were matching or beating my salary. So I was ready to go all in and quit my job. So the way I did that was I asked my boss for a one-to-one call or a one-to-one meeting, which I never did. So he told me after I quit that he knew that was what was coming, because I never asked for one-to-one meetings. And so he got the feeling as soon as I asked for that, he thought that the letter of resignation was on the way. and I was handing in my notice, and he was right. He didn't know I was building a business alongside my job because I kept it quiet, but I knew that that was always my goal, and so I had the task of telling him that I was going to leave, and that it was nothing to do with the job that I was in. It was more so about the fact that I had different goals for myself than going down that career path, and I built an income stream alongside the job that was now able to support me as I left that job. It's time to quit. Now, what did I get right? There were certain things I got right which allowed me to quit my job and get into this position I'm in now. So I'll go through those, and then I'll share what I got wrong, because there's definitely some regrets and lessons that I've learned now. I look back at the situation and the decisions I made. So what I got right was that I started my business alongside my job, and I didn't quit my job and go all into a business from the start. I needed to get validation that I could make money from the business first before I had the confidence to quit my job. Probably the most important thing that I definitely got right was that I took it seriously. I see too many people, when they want to leave a 9-to-5 job and they want to build a business, is that they just treat it too much like a hobby, or they're just trying things out, or they're just dabbling and seeing if it works. But when you go in like that, you'll never get the results that you want to achieve. I took it seriously, I invested in myself, and I made sure it was my primary goal over and above any other priorities I had. And I had to make sacrifices. I had to put it first in order to achieve my goals. But I took it seriously, and that gave me the results that I was able to achieve. Also, I got around other people that were also ambitious and were also striving for success, and that gave me the confidence that I could also achieve the success that I was seeing others were achieving. But there were things that I got wrong, there's regrets that I've got, and there's some lessons that I'd like to give to you if you think this is your path and you'd like to achieve more than the path that you're currently on. The biggest thing I look back on and have a regret on is that I didn't have the courage to start earlier. So it took me years in jobs and in corporate 9-to-5 roles before I was actually confident to even start something alongside. I was listening to podcasts, I was watching YouTube videos, I was getting all the knowledge that I could possibly ask for, because it's all out there online these days. But I was too scared to actually act on anything, because I didn't think that I would actually achieve anything. I didn't have the confidence in myself. So I was too scared. And even though I could see people just like me were succeeding, I didn't have the confidence to take that risk. And so now I'd go back to myself and I'd say, just start, just take action, just do one thing every day, and you'll learn from the actions that you're taking. And all you're doing is delaying the chance to get to your goals. And also, I wasn't as active as I possibly could have been in a community, and I know now that the people that are most active in Relentless Co are the people that are making the most progress. So the more active I was in a community, the more you get out of a community, and the more you will quickly level up, and that's a big regret as well. So to conclude, what I would tell my younger self and somebody that's going through this and wants to leave a 9-to-5 was that I would start today and start taking action as quickly as possible. If you're having those same thoughts as me, and you're thinking that you're not reaching your potential, if you're thinking that you're looking ahead of people that are 10, 20, 30 years ahead of your career path right now, and if you're not aspiring to be like them, then we need to start to take action towards that. I'm not saying quit your job. One of the best things I did was that I stayed in my role, even though I knew it wasn't for me long term, but it allowed me to have a consistent, solid foundation to build a business on top of. So I'd stay in that role for now, but I would take it seriously. I'd join communities, and I would get around people that really want the best for you. Because ultimately, you weren't made to settle for mediocrity. And I'll leave you with that in the same way that I started the video, because you need to understand we get this one chance in life, and if you believe the same as me, that we want to make the most of it, and we want to take complete responsibility of the life that we're living, then it's up to us to start today and not to settle for mediocrity. With that said, I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Let me know if you have, and I'll catch you in the next one.